Hello all. In this video I'm going to show you how I made my slip dress with open back and some gathering in front. I think every woman should own a slip dress. You should have a slip dress in your wardrobe. It should be like a necessity because slip dress fits everybody, different shape, different size. It just fits you. And the best ingredient for a slip dress is your fabric. You can use a silk fabric. You can also use a satin fabric to create a slip dress. I created two illustrations in mind because anytime I need to create a design, I have to create an illustration to see how I'm going to draft a pattern. So I did that. I did two illustrations in mind, but I went with the one with the open back and the gathering on the bust. So yeah, all you need is just your silk dress or satin dress and your basic bodice block pattern, your basic dress block pattern. I have a tutorial on that, so I'm using the old one. As you can see, I travel with it everywhere I go. So I'm going to trigger it to create my design, the one with the open back. So let's watch to the end. Also, please do not forget to subscribe, like and share. I started by tracing my basic fitted dress block pattern. Also note that you can use a stretchy silk fabric or a non-stretchy silk fabric. Another thing to also consider if you are going to make this design is that the back is loose. I like the back loose, but if I were to change it, if I were to make it fitted, I would attach a tie rope or an elastic just to put the back together, to hold the back together. But I like it this way, so I have options to do that if I'm tired of the way the back looks. First, I minused the dot allowance from the waist, then connected that new waistline to the armhole depth and then to the hip. I did the same thing for the back pattern. I added a total of 1 inch ease to my pattern, so 1 inch divided by 4 is 1/4, so I added 1/4 to the front side and 1/4 to the back. I also marked 3/4 inch for my zipper allowance, my side zipper. I'm using a side zipper. Whatever I did for the front pattern, I also did for the back pattern. Before adding my zipper allowance, I was supposed to draw a straight line from the hip down to my dress length, but I didn't do that, so I had to rectify that by creating the straight line, then adding my zipper allowance. To create my v-neck, I extended the neck by 1 inch because I wanted to be free at the neck. Then I drew a line connecting the new neck to the armhole depth point. I also connected the waist point to the armhole depth point. I want my shoulder width to be 2 inches, so I marked in from my new neck point down, then I created a new armhole curve. I wanted the bottom of the dress flare, so I created little slash lines to enable me spread the bottom when cutting my fabric. Like I said earlier, everything I did for the front, I also did for the back except the neck. So I still did the same thing by adding 1 inch to the neck and connect that new neck down all the way down to the waist. So for the back, I connected the new neck line all the way down to the waist. That is the only difference from the front. I also created little slash lines to create that gathering you see in front of the slip dress. You can use the method on the screen to create this gathering, to create that gathering. I cut the slash lines all the way to the hip I'm going to show you how I would spread it because I'm not going to spread it all the way. I left 1 inch space at the center back to cut the back, because the back I opened it all the way at the center and then joined the side seam together. So I don't need to I don't need to add facing for my back. All I need to do is just to fold the neck and sew the side seams together. I'm starting with the back. So first thing I did was to fold the neck. So I folded the neck. Remember, the back neck stopped at the waist. So I folded from the top, double fold from the top to the waist. After stitching, I joined the center back and then stitch. After pinning, I realized that the two neck sides were not equal, so I had to use my seam ripper, to rip out the other side so they'll be equal before stitching. After stitching, I locked and pressed the center back. It's time to sew the front piece. For the front top piece, I double folded the neck area, then stitch. I ran a button stitch at the bottom of the top pieces so I can be able to drag to form the ruche on the bust side. Next, I attach the top pieces to the top bottom piece. After attaching, I stitched, locked and pressed. Next, I attach the front and back pieces at the shoulder, then pin and sew. Next, I stitched the armhole. I double folded the armhole, making sure that it's 2 inches because I want it to be 2 inches. Then I pin, then stitch round. Next, I locked the left hand side of the slip dress to attach my invisible zipper because yeah, I didn't attach my zipper at the back. So I have so many videos on how to attach an invisible zipper. I'm just going to put a few on the screen, so you should go watch that because I just went straight to attaching my zipper. There, I was trying to measure out my seam allowance and also my zipper allowance to know where to place the zipper. After attaching the zipper, I sewed close the open side seam. For the right side seam, I had to minus the zipper allowance because the zipper allowance is also is on both sides, so I had to minus it out and stitch, then lock it. Next, I folded in the top part of the zipper, then stitch. I tuck it in, then stitch. For the final step, I locked the bottom of the dress, then hem. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Please don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe for more sewing tutorials. Bye bye.